Hello, everybody. Welcome to the D-Pads. I was going to say July. It is July, but this is our June Patreon Hangout. Oh, of course, there's always a little tiny fly, and I lost it. There's enough dark stuff on the screen. Oh, I just saw it. I was looking at my face on the screen, and it crossed right by there. But hello. I've discovered a brand new bug in XSplit. I'll have to let folks at XSplit know this one. It's kind of a weird one. If you start a stream, so if you try streaming to YouTube from XSplit, normally you tell XSplit you're ready to stream, you start streaming, YouTube starts ingesting it, and then eventually you tell it on the YouTube side like go live, and then you're streaming. If you tell XSplit to start, but before you tell YouTube to start, you decide to back out of it, it'll give you an option if you don't end the stream normally, and it says like, oh, do you want to end the live event? And I say no, because I started it because I saw that there was a low latency mode, which I'm gonna test right now. So 1, 2, 3. That's still kind of slow, but it's quicker. It's about maybe 10 seconds. They have 3 options that I've only just discovered today. There's normal latency, which appears to be about 45 seconds. There's low latency, which seems to be about 10 seconds. And then there's ultra low latency, which I didn't touch because I figured I'd stick with the low latency for night, see how it goes first, because I don't want to have things buffering all night. But I saw this option, and I was like, oh, I should check that out. So I told it to stop streaming from XSplit side before I had started anything on the YouTube side. Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you very much. And what wound up happening was when I went to go restart the stream with the new settings, it couldn't find any of my stream options. It just kind of didn't know how to connect to any of the streams that we had data for, including like a test one that I have in there in case I ever need to like do little configuration stuff. Restarting the program didn't fix it. What fixed it was starting a brand new live event set to private and then ending it and also telling it to end that event. And after doing that, not only did the old version of the stream show up, the new version of the stream also showed up, which this is a second URL for this because the first one didn't show up and neither did the second. And also the private one that I just created and ended also showed up. It was a really bizarre bug. But I'm going to see if I can put together a bug report for XSplit later on tonight so that that can get kind of figured out. I don't know. It's such a strange thing, and I've never seen anything like that before. Also, apologies if I step away for a few seconds every now and then to munch on some stuff. We're having some dinner. This is officially a mukbang now, so I'm sure I'll be getting, I don't know, hate mail from Nikocado Avocado any second now. So anyway, welcome to the Patreon Hangout for this month. Decent amount of stuff has gone down. Not like a ton. It's actually been a pretty, not like laid back month. It's actually been super busy, and I remain incredibly busy. But it hasn't been like a million things starting or ending. I mean, we'll get into those in a second, but I think next month is going to be the one that's going to have a lot more interesting stuff to talk about. Actually, probably the next 2 months are both going to have more interesting things to discuss when it comes down to Patreon time. We are inching ever closer to being done with our wall of Pokemon games, though, so that's pretty cool. I would love to bring Retro Retry back. I wanted the second episode to be the 2XL, and we just never got around to doing that, and that was like 6-7 years ago. But anyway, I'm just going to pull up my list so that I've got it nearby. I think people will like. We got some specials and things that are coming up, including. It looks like the thing that I tried pulling together for tomorrow is in fact going to be all good. I've got a test balloon going up tonight to make sure that everything's all set, and then a cleaner version of the thing that I want to go up is going to be shortly behind that. That should be a good time. I think people will get a kick out of that. I was debating making it a YouTube premiere, but it's a little on the long side, and I don't think I'm going to have the time myself to jump in on something of that length tomorrow. In fact, I'm almost certain that I'm not going to be able to because so Sunday is the 4th of July. So I'm getting together with my family I'm most likely, the plan is to get together, but who knows? The weather's supposed to be a little bit on the wet side, which isn't great for 4th of July style stuff. But everybody who's coming to record this weekend is coming tomorrow, so it's going to be like this super duper dense day of recording, and we're going to try to get as much done as we can. There was a reason that I brought that up, and now I've already forgotten. I like this beanie. Honestly, I feel like I'm never quite wearing it right, but like, it's clothes. Who cares? Any way you want to wear it is technically right. My hair looks terrible today, and it's actually, right now it's 57 degrees. It's literally 30 degrees less than it was this same time 2 days ago, and 3 days ago, and 4 days ago. It was absolutely tragically fucking hot around here for this whole week, and now this weekend is going to be cool and rainy, and I'm like, thank Christ. I had to run our garbage and recycling barrels up through our sunken parking spot, a little parking driveway, I guess. It's kind of a driveway. It's a driveway for 4 separate apartment units, but it's on a slope, and then the slope does this, and the drainage is terrible. So that's the whole thing. But yeah, I think I think people will get a kick out of what's coming tomorrow. The first of many, but less involved than this. You'll understand what I mean when you see it, I think. But it's a big thing coming tomorrow, and then smaller scale, similar things will likely be coming in the future. Only a couple of them are on any sort of like vague plan of a schedule, but I'm not too worried about a schedule for these. They're kind of just a fun little accessory to the channel more than they are actual they literally aren't like main content or anything. So I think this would be a nice thing to kind of have on the side. I may as well dive into the list. I don't think anyone joining us tonight is new to it, but we've done. For anyone who's following on the VOD after the fact, anytime we do this, I kind of walk down our list of like stuff that we're currently producing on the channel and where the future of some of these things are going to be. Minus spoilers. Sometimes there's like spoilable things. Every time we come up on like a cool new thing that I want to keep a surprise, I'll usually keep a lid on that, like the thing that's coming tomorrow. I don't mind mentioning the fact that there is a thing coming tomorrow, and it is on the large size, so anyone who wants to sit down for it is going to need a good chunk of time. But yeah. Let's see. I guess I'll just go down in the order that I've got them on here. I kind of have like a rough like order of the games that I put together in my list, and it's like Hindsight is at the top, and then a bunch of our franchise plays during the week or below that in like the rough order that they started in. But even then, it's like not necessarily super accurate. Like I put Sonic before Kirby. I don't know why. I think I just consider Sonic a higher priority series than Kirby overall. Granted, Sonic 06 gets us a lot more views than Kirby and the Rainbow Curse does. So like, but oh yeah. So basically, what I tend to do is as part of the Patreon Hangout, I'll just kind of like walk down our current schedule of series and kind of explain where things have gone over the last month and where they're going to be headed in the general future, or sometimes in the specific future, but usually it's pretty general. And then, if there's questions that people have that aren't like spoilers for the experience that I'm trying to like give to folks, then I'll answer those as well. And sometimes we talk shop, we talk, hypothetical stuff for the future. We talk about, stuff that we might try to cover down the line, or if people have suggestions for things, though we do have a channel for that on the Discord as well. But yeah, so the first thing on the list is Hindsight. Just because that's sort of a special series. We're still in the midst of Thousand Arms, and the way that attaches to the overall like meta plot stuff, for anyone who's curious what that's all about, we've been kind of weaving this like little jokey meta plot that's slowly gotten more and more involved over the last, 6 years now, into it. The Hindsight series was supposed to start in January of 2020, and then we didn't manage to get it done through the holidays. And then I was like, all right, I'll do it in April of 2020. And then the pandemic hit, and everything schedule-wise really collapsed on itself. So the stuff that I'm tying it, that we're tying it to with our like meta plot and stuff, is going to be handled a lot differently than I had originally planned. I do have a general idea how I'm going to kind of tie it together again, but yeah. Even if we weren't doing Thousand Arms, which I think is going to be by far the longest game that we do for Hindsight, I think we would have missed the mark that we were originally like shooting for. But that's okay. We'll make do. Hindsight is kind of intended to be sort of a lighter, fun kind of like whatever-ish sort of series. And in some ways is kind of a blueprint for what we'd like to do to handle games kind of in the future is less intensity on franchise plays and more, less structure in the same way that Hindsight does, and more in the sense of like, I got a whole thing of video games directly behind me, and people come over to record and they're like, actually, hey, I brought a copy of, I can't even think of a good example off the top of my head. DMC Devil May Cry. I heard it sucks. Let's play an hour or two of it. And it's like, all right, cool, do that. And I think we're going to be doing more of that in time. I think I don't know that we're going to be doing anything like that this year, just because we're so like jammed up. But that's kind of the goal for like next year. Of like, we'll start being a little bit more casual about what kind of stuff we play. We'll still have franchise plays, but fewer, and they'll like basically be the ones that we're already doing. Some of them are going to be coming to an end very soon. Some of them are coming to an end. I feel less confident about Kirby being done this year than I was a couple months ago. Smash Brothers for 3DS and Wii U really, really, really slowed us down. We actually Sarah and I recorded a couple episodes of Rainbow Curse that haven't gone up yet because I wanted to do an episode of Kazuya in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it just, we just didn't manage to make time for it properly. So we're going to do that this weekend. That'll be up on Monday, and then we'll have some Rainbow Curse coming to follow that up. And for that game, we're already, from the videos that have gone up, we're already basically halfway through the game. So, it's not going to be a very long series. And then we have kind of a collection of, this is the last completely new, full-scale physical release prior to, I guess, not Kirby Fighters 2. Is Team Kirby Clash? There's another one that's it's one of those kind of weird, it's kind of one of those weird side-ish kind of games. But that's kind of where that's at right now. Battle Royale, thank you, yes. And there was a point to all of this, and I've gone off track. So, Thousand Arms is... we're supposedly about 2/3 of the way through the chapters of the game, but the chapters are decidedly taking longer and longer each time, and this one we're in is a bastard, and fighting Wire is a huge pain in the ass. So that's a whole thing. I don't have a whole lot else to say about that. I really have no idea how long that series is going to be. I think we're all kind of wearing down with it a little bit, but so long as Felice wants to keep going with it, we're going to keep going with it. And then we've got some games to follow that up. We've got some that are already pre-recorded, and that'll be kind of a bit of good news for us on the recording side, which is pretty nice. On the Zelda side, Legendary Let's Play, the final CDI game, the final game, Zelda's Adventure, which, oh my god, I forget if it was episode 1 or 2. No, it was episode 3. We talked about how maybe the graphics look a little bit better on a CRT TV, which, I mean, they look like they look a little better. They're not great. But I had mentioned that I can't check physically because I would need to turn off, I would probably risk turning off the CDI or something like that in order to change things around properly. And then 5 minutes after we recorded the first 6 episodes, the power went out. So when we're done here, there's a good chance I'm just going to be sitting and replaying the first 6 episodes worth of videos so that we can continue that this weekend. Our CDI is sufficiently old and busted that if the power even turns off, even if it's still plugged in, it loses all of its save data. It does not retain save information at all. So that's a huge bummer. But you know, what you're going to do about it? We had a terrible pipe dream about being able to push through and finish the game in episodes. So I feel like it's gonna take probably more than this weekend to get through that. Not to mention, I'm hoping that when I replay this thing that the cursor moves faster. I saw that the cursor did not move nearly as death-inducingly slowly for other folks, including the Game Grumps. Praying that on a second load up for whatever controls that is released and will actually move, because I don't love the screen transition delay, but there's only so much you can do about that. The menu cursor is fucking horrendous. So I don't know what that's going to be all about. Oh, yeah, we have I think we got a quick bit of buffering. We had an export that just wrapped up. So hopefully that'll be fine in a second. Actually, it looks like it should already be fine. But this, I at least know what the issue is. It's doing an export that was just finishing things up. But yeah, Zelda's Adventure is interesting in that the menus are by far the worst part of the experience. The controls aren't great. I'm not going to pretend they're really good, but they're pretty responsive, all things considered. If I had a better controller, I think I'd have a better time with it. That's really the biggest issue with it, is just that the controller just is tough to work with sometimes. Doesn't seem bad in a very fun way. Meaning it doesn't seem bad in a very fun way. I'm having trouble parsing that one, but I think I know what you mean. For the most part, the experience is not horrible. The menus are really, really, really the worst part of it. Everything else is either hilariously bad or just a less than good Zelda game. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. The NPCs were slightly disconcerting. There's a bit of questionable characterization going on in some of that, but yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, this one is definitely on the dull side. I think the potentially racist voice acting is among the few things that is giving it some life. Because otherwise, this is just a big... I have no idea how big the map is either. I've heard the map is very large, which doesn't make me feel too great. But I don't know. I guess we'll take it as it comes. But yeah, we're gonna record a bunch of that this weekend. I doubt we'll be done with it, unfortunately. We're kind of coming down to the end of them, though. We only have a few more sessions left. I'm actually kind of jazzed up about it, and I think I'm still kind of in shock. It hasn't really set in yet. I kind of like the fact that we got Zelda's Adventure, our last Zelda game, and Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, our last like full scale game slash the last big one before we get back to Planet Robobot again and like loop through to like that last like slide out. Both of those came at the same time, and both of those are like big deals, but I don't know. I think I'm still just kind of like coming to grips with it. It's going to be very, very weird not having Zelda games on the docket anymore, at least until Breath of the Wild 2. I don't know if we're going to do the either DLC for Age of Calamity. I played through the first DLC pack, and similar to Breath of the Wild and to Cadence of Hyrule, the first DLC pack was definitely not one that was like necessary to like make content from, I don't think. But DLC pack 2 for Breath of the Wild and DLC pack 2 for Cadence of Hyrule both did have stuff that was worthy of like actually making content for. So we'll see what happens. We'll have to see how the announcement goes with that, but we'll kind of play it by ear. Mega Man, we've had one episode of Rockman 8 FC in the can for like 3 weeks, and it's just a matter of getting some time with John to be able to record that. He's supposed to be around tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get some more of that going. I don't really have a lot to say there. I should mention, I was debating trying to make some content of Mega Man X Dive now that it's actually been released in its beta form. But I think based on how dense the schedule is right now and the fact that it is still a beta, I think I'm going to hold off for now. If they pull it out of beta, then we'll probably dive into it then. But for the time being, it has gotten a US and UK release. It is downloadable from the Android store, the Google Play Store. It's not on iOS. It's not in Canada or anywhere other than the US and UK. And it is still a beta. So I'm kind of waiting for a little bit more, and then we'll kind of dive back into that. But yeah, let's see. Yeah, that one, the one episode of Ultra Sun, it's just kind of been sitting there for a long time. I didn't even need to. So I didn't have the video exported, but I needed to I didn't need to edit the video. It was already edited. I just needed to export it, and I didn't for some reason. I think just because I was like, oh well, I don't want to take up more space than I need to on my hard drive. But yeah, it's been 3.5 years, and there's no point in holding that one down. The only reason it didn't go up was because it was the only episode that we had beyond that first trial, and I was like, it feels weird to just put that up on its own. I'll wait until we make some more videos. And then Ben and Lindsay just didn't, we didn't get them for any more episodes. But like I said before, and like I said in the description, I don't expect that we're gonna be going back to that one. It would really rely on Ben and or Lindsay like indicating that they really want to. In the same way that Sword is a Jeff and Ben series, Ultra Sun is a Ben and Lindsay series. If they want to, then we'll make more. I still have the cartridges and all of that stuff, and I have all the equipment we need for it. But I'm not expecting it to come back. It'll be as much of a surprise to me as it is to you if it does. I'd be excited if it did, just because it'd be kind of neat to go back to it a little bit. But again, not really expecting that to be the case. So we'll just kind of see how that goes, I guess. Oh yeah, I didn't like listen to the whole episode, but I listened to bits and pieces just to make sure that stuff was okay. Hang on a second. There we go. We had a little bit of a lag there, but I closed out the thing that was causing it. We should be all good now. Yes. Okay. There we go. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, it was neat to see some of the comments about our predictions for the series. It'll have a new mechanic, and that turned out to be just Pokemon Go again. And it's like, oh, all right. It is interesting to hear some of the stuff we said there now that we're looking forward to Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So that should be kind of interesting as well. Yeah, I don't expect that we'll be doing. I mean, again, ultrasound would be a thing that if we had Ben and Lindsay and they were both interested in doing that, then we would do it. And if I doubt that we would do that while also doing sword stuff. So it'd be a matter of like if we have a weekend where Jeff isn't around or something and they wanted to do that, or I don't know, it just at random they decide they want to do it. So I can't really speak to it in any kind of specific way, but. On the Sonic side, we are nearly 60 episodes into Sonic 06. I believe on Monday, when Part 59 goes up, that'll actually be the highest the highest number of episodes we've ever done for one of these games where it's like a singular counting of all of those episodes. I think I'm pretty sure we've had a series for Sonic that have gone above 60, but it's been like broken down in a different way. I just want to like double check. Because I literally like the thing that says like part 58, part 59 does not exist in my files. Like I have to make a new one of those. 42, 56 for Sonic Adventure Director's Cut. Yeah, okay, we're actually... Oh, no, 59 was Sonic Heroes. How did we get 59 for Sonic Heroes without having a Part 59 thing on it? I'm going to scroll through this real quick. Oh, because we did a bonus episode. So it's 58 in a bonus episode. So it'll be the first time we see Part 59 on a video on Monday, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I think that'll be a fun time. Silver Story has been interesting. Expectably broken and buggy and slow. So that's going to be a whole thing. Let's see. It feels like we should have heard more about BDSP or Legends Arceus at this point. When was the Pokemon? Let me pull that one up because I forget when the actual when I did my React video for it. When they announced those, that was February. Okay, yeah, no, I feel like we might get one more thing in like, when does it come out? November? October? We might get one at the end of September, beginning of October, something like that. Yeah, remakes in September. That's kind of how I'm expecting that to go. I would like to hear some more information, but honestly, if the game plays basically like the originals, then that's fine. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire were basically like that, and it was fine. I like those games plenty, so I'd be fine with that. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl will be Rivals series. John has not decided which game he's playing out of those two. I gotta grill him about that, as well as get him to figure out what his starter is going to be, so that I can get some art made, some key art of us with our starters, because I know who I want, but I want to see who. That's the benefit of going second on one of these, is I get to choose my starter after he does. So we'll see how that goes. Pokemon Sword, we have finished the post game, and the next videos you see from it will be beginning the Isle of Armor. Not a lot to say there. I don't really know what to expect. I know that was it Cub Fu or whatever is going to have to do a lot of leveling up, so we'll have to figure out some clever ways to get that done. And similarly, Let's Go Pikachu is down to the wire in post game, but we're trying to make the Chansey grinding as painless as possible. And every time, John vanishes for a while, he brings the Switch with him. So I would need to actively convince him to do it on his own away from here, which I don't know how likely that's going to be. So I think we're just going to stick with longer form podcast episodes. If we can do like an hour-long episode and clear at least one of our remaining challenges each time, I think we'll be good. My expectation is the next episode we will clear the Gyarados Master Trainer. The episode after that, we will clear the Venusaur Master Trainer. And the episode after that, I expect we'll probably get the Articuno situation solved, and then the one after that will be Mewtwo. That's my expectation for that. And then one final episode with our cool little finale there to close it all out. Amnesia wouldn't be bad. Amnesia is special defense. Because the biggest trick there is going to be... Oh, increases special attack. Oh, no. It's special defense. Gen 1 was just special in general. 2 stages, though, so that could save his life if he gets in there quick. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Venusaur is really, really not built in a way to fight Venusaurs. It's kind of embarrassing just how truly bad a Venusaur is at fighting a Venusaur. But yeah, putting together 3 Amnesias, or at least 2, will hopefully give him a good shot there. We might even open an episode with that, but just to see how it goes. But we're also, we're on the brink of having Zelda and Pokemon Rivals off the calendar for at least many months. So should be kind of good there, but oh no, it's not going to be that long. John's around this weekend, and we're going to at least record 1 or 2 of them this weekend. And we'll make sure we at least get 1 or 2 of the Master Trainer situations kind of dealt with for good. My expectation is we're literally going to just do 5 finale episodes, and the goal is to clear out one of the Master Trainers or one of the goals in each of those. But we'll see. We'll see how Amnesia goes. We'll see how Gyarados is actually less of a threat thanks to Mega Stones. I haven't told John any specifics on this because I want to see his reaction to it. But basically, the Master Trainer Gyarados has Thunderbolt, which means essentially if you don't Mega Evolve your Gyarados, you're just gonna fry. So that's like a whole thing, and he will almost certainly want to put Thunderbolt on his Gyarados as a counter because theirs aren't going to Mega Evolve. So it's kind of an obvious, counter to all that. It also, weirdly enough, that Gyarados also has Earthquake, which is ineffective against Gyarados normally. It's effective against Mega Gyarados, but it's no more effective than Thunderbolt, which is still super effective. Like, the moves that these Pokemon have is so bizarre. Super, super bizarre. But I digress. Kirby, I already talked about that. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. We got Smash Ultimate. Pokemon. Resident Evil. I wanted to put up... we've actually got another week's worth of... CJ and Felice aren't even going to be swinging by this weekend. We just have an extra week's worth of episodes in the can. We had a set for the week I was gone for vacation as well, but I just didn't wind up having time to get them done. My plan was to get up early on Monday, edit them, have them export, and then remotely upload them and throw details on and all that stuff. And I just didn't have time thanks to how late the Sonic Weekathon went. Which was a fun time. There were some weird things going on in there, and I am happy to say that I kicked the absolute shit out of Knuckles Chaotix. Literally, like, I think I got it done in like half the time we've historically beaten that game. So, very happy to make that a reality. Let's see. Twitch stuff. Barrow Trauma continues, though I think that they were planning on winding that down sometime soon. Dave has been doing Wildermyth and is trying to decide whether to continue with that. He's really big on the doing one-off streams, so he's kind of like juggling some ideas with that one. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII I have on my list here, and I'll get to that after the kind of Twitch rundown. The Screwy Let's Play, doing all the Metroid stuff has been fun. I did not expect to beat Metroid 1 quite so quickly. So we're actually doing better on our schedule than I was anticipating. Metroid 2's been going well so far. If I can get on early enough on Tuesday, then we might be able to actually clear the entire rest of it this coming week. But I'm not in a rush exactly, so I'm not gonna go nuts over it. We'll have to see how things are feeling on Tuesday. Wednesday, there's Tomb Raider. That one's been going. I think it's still pretty early days there. Thursdays are. Oh, I have to actually mark that off there. Thursdays have been Spider-Man, and I actually last night finished the main campaign for that. I'm not going to be on for that this coming Thursday, but the one after that I will be, and we'll be headed to the DLC packs. There's 3 DLC packs for Spider-Man. I'm actually probably going to be playing it a little bit on the side to get some trophies that were missed. There's one for New Game Plus, and there's one for beating Ultimate Difficulty and stuff that I might just pick up because I actually have all but 3 available trophies right now in the non-DLC sections of the game, not counting the Platinum Trophy. So I was like, all right, if I'm that close to these, I may as well, go and actually get the rest. Like, if I had, a third of them, or if I had half of them or something, I don't think I'd bother, but all but 3 is okay, I got, 50 trophies, I may as well get these last couple. So that was kind of neat. Stopped all crime in New York City once again. That was a nice feeling. And yeah, I think that's it for Twitch stuff for the time being. Final Fantasy VII, again, it really does rely on who we have when. This weekend is already kind of pretty dense anyway, but if we can manage to get a bunch of folks together and we're not actively playing a whole shitload of Resident Evil Village, then we're going to be swinging back into Final Fantasy VII. No real timetable for that. That's kind of our bonus series of whenever we got time for it. Mega Man Star Force 2. I have 1 episode in the can for that I'm hanging on to because Jeff's going to be around tomorrow. So we should have one for Sunday as well. I just didn't want to put up 1 episode on its own. Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. We're down to the last. We're 35-40% of the way through our Mirage Arena stuff. And then when that's done, I'm probably going to off camera build up Aqua in her own save file, because apparently the super bosses you can't actually the super bosses outside of the Mirage Arena you can't see in the final episode for some incredibly fucking stupid reason that I do not understand. That seems like a huge oversight and a bad thing to do, but alas. We're also not going to stress out too much about beating them down. We're more interested in just kind of seeing them and moving on. Because Birth by Sleep has basically been functionally over for a while now. Recoded, when that comes around, is going to jump into the Tuesday slot, and I will figure out how to make Metroid work on Thursdays beyond that. Depending on the timing of the DLC packs, I might keep... depending on how long it takes to get through the DLC packs for Spider-Man, I may take a break from Spider-Man to do the rest of the Metroid stuff and then come back to Miles Morales. Is probably my plan. Something along those lines. I've been doing the Loki reviews, which have been interesting. I'm still kind of getting used to the format. It's tough. I feel like I could do a lot better with these if I didn't have a workload of videos to put together in general, because I sit down and watch the episode. If I watch it with Sarah, then I watch it again a second time so I can take notes and pause the video and stuff. And then I'm organizing my notes, and then I record my video, which is 45 minutes long, and then I have to get it together to export and upload and things. So this whole process takes a stupidly long time, and it results in the best case scenario of me getting my video up at 6 p.m. that day, which is kind of a bummer. I wish I could get it in there sooner, but there's just not a lot of realistic ways to be able to do that if I want to be able to keep notes and then organize them and do all that. I think that's it as far as scheduled stuff. I don't expect that I'm going to be doing any coverage of PAX Online in July, it overlaps with Sarah's birthday weekend, and we're figuring out plans to do for that. And so, we're kind of going from there. So I don't expect I'm going to, be covering much, if any, of that, especially since I'm going to want to use the rest of the weekend to get, like, recording things done. You're going to do an R-rated for Black Widow 2. The plan is, yes, that I am going to do an R-rated review for that. And, when we get movie nights back up in motion again, I was actually originally hoping to try to get it done to get the Avengers one done this weekend, but CJ and Felice will not be in, and they joined us for our viewing party for it, but we didn't have time that night. Like, we ended around like 1-2 in the morning when we watched that, so it didn't make sense to do a review right then and there. But yeah, so yes, in the meantime, I'm going to be doing R-rated reviews of the MCU movies as they come out, and then we'll kind of see how things go from there. But I've been enjoying just kind of like talking about them and stuff, but we'll see. But yeah, so that is it as far as the schedule, like walking through the schedule bits goes. I don't think there's anything else. Nothing really. I have a couple special videos I'm trying to work on for some deadlines, but they're not like super hard set deadlines, so I'm not, too broken up about it. That can go away. That can go away as well. That can go away also. Cool. That can go also. Neat. I'm just kind of like, I have sort of a loose, not exactly a calendar, but like I just kind of have a list of dates of like things that are coming up later in the year that'd be like, oh, this would be interesting to look into or do a thing for or just talk about online. But a bunch of them I'm just like, all right, no. Yeah. Knock that out. Cool. All right. Neat. But yeah, how long ago was the viewing party? Couple weeks. I'm trying to remember exactly when. We've been kind of, when CJ and Felice are over, the priority jumps directly to Resident Evil Village, since that is the new hotness right now, and we want to stay on top of that as much as we can. The trouble is, by the time we're done with that, we're usually kind of burned out. Especially if we did Thousand Arms immediately before it, because that game is a little on the slow side. I had a set of notes that I couldn't find all of a sudden, but it's going to be interesting to see once we get past Rockman 8 FC. The Mega Let's Play post game is going to get a little more interesting. A lot of like smaller. It's gonna be, I don't know. It's weird. It's a little more scattered. The first chunk of this has been a lot of like Mega Man likes, and fighting games. And this is going to be, it's going to take a different sort of direction after Rockman 8 FC. So I think it'll be fun, though. I think it'll be a pretty good time. But yeah. My usual sliding scale of estimates for, finishing stuff. The Legendary Let's Play, I'm expecting to be done. I mean, I guess it depends on how Zelda's Adventure goes, right? Like, if it winds up being like a week and a half for every dungeon, it could be like, what would that be? 2.5 months, something like that. It's going to be done this year. It's a matter of like how far into, it's July now, so how far into the fall we go. but it's gonna depend on how rough Zelda's Adventure is from here, and if we can get that fucking cursor moving. Um, Beyond that, Kirby is probably like, I don't know, start of next year would be like a rough estimate on when we'll be wrapping that one up. And the Mega Let's Play, I'm just not even sure. We still have a decent amount of stuff with that. That'll probably be a next year generally sort of thing, but all of that. But like 25 to 30 episodes for Zelda's Adventure, I would be fucking stunned if it was that short. I'd be thrilled if it was that short, but I would be very surprised based off of everything. So far, we still haven't even figured out a way to not warp back to the starting point of the map anytime we die. I guess being in a dungeon helps, but the second you step out of the dungeon, you die. You go back to the start of the game, which means a lot of screen transitions to get back. So my hope is that we'll have a means of warping ourselves around eventually or something. But we'll see. 25 to 30 feels incredibly optimistic to me at this point. Like, I feel like 40, 45 is more realistic. But we'll see. Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu is, for all intents and purposes, pretty well done. We have essentially five more episodes worth of, well, 5 more long episodes worth of stuff to do. Going to do the Sun post game when that's done. And then, depending on where we're at, either we will, try to get back through Insurgents, or we will hold that one off until, I don't know, Sword is done or something. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see where we're at with that. I don't want to make any promises with Insurgents just because it's such a question mark overall. But that's okay. I have extreme doubts that he's grinding off screen. Yeah, 4-ish hours on how long to beat Zelda's Adventure is like 7.5. Which I guess makes sense. I just don't. I mean, granted, the cursor probably moves faster for that 7.5. Right? Like, I'd be willing to bet that ours is going to be more like 10 to 12 just based off of how slow that cursor moves. If we can't get it to move faster, we're going to be in big trouble. Trying to think if there's anything else. Yeah, I don't know if I've got anything else right now. I got a handful of specials and things that I'm working on. I'm still tinkering away at Titan AE, if you can fucking believe it. I wasn't in a good enough spot to be able to definitively, like, give up on the YouTube version and link to it elsewhere. Was it 2 weeks ago? But I should have a more final decision on that in the next, like, couple days. I'm just kind of tired of dealing with it. And, like, I get why it's not a thing that YouTube wants to let fly. It's just kind of a bummer, but that's okay. I don't know. But yeah, so I think that's all that I've got for tonight. I know this is a bit on the short side, but granted, it was also kind of a short month. There was a week where we didn't put up any content, any new recorded content, but yeah. So, like I said before, there'll definitely be some stuff to talk about for the next one, which is going to be on July 30th, also a Friday. It's always a Friday. There'll definitely be some new stuff to talk about then. I think we'll have some fun, exciting stuff to discuss then. My hope is that Zelda's Adventure will be pretty close to done then too. I doubt that we'll be actually done with it, but my hope is that it'll be done between the July and August Hangouts. That's my goal, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, I think I'm going to call it there. I'm going to give you guys a rest. I'm going to give myself a rest. It's, no longer 1,000,000 degrees, but I have not been sleeping for most of this week because of the heat and the noise of ACs and fans. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that... Oh, I had a cool thing that I was trying to pull together, but like the place that I was trying to upload it to was not very receptive to the stuff that I was trying to like make work data wise. But I don't know. I'll talk more about that if I can get it any further along. I'm not super surprised that it didn't work, but we'll see there. But anyway, I'm gonna end it here. I'm probably about to hop on Zelda's Adventure to like prep that for tomorrow. But yeah, thank you guys very much for hanging out. I hope that any patrons. So those of you that are here, and also any patrons of the $5 or the $4 tier above that watch us later, we've changed how we're doing video credits. Rather than having everyone just claim one credit, one series to have a credit in, we're now doing one series for every $5 that you are putting into our Patreon, minus one off the total because of yada yada long explanation. So $4 gets you one, 9 gets you two, 14 gets you three, etc. So if you haven't, head to patreon.com/dpadfm to read up on that, as well as let me know when the next or what the series you want to be attached to are. I've seen a couple responses on there. I haven't made any changes yet, but I also haven't edited any new videos for next week yet, other than that one Mega Man video that I've had for a couple weeks. So we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, thank you guys very much. I am super appreciative for you guys to be here and for helping prop up this channel and all of that jazz. I'm very excited for some stuff that's coming in July. I think you guys will get a kick out of it. I think it'll be fun. And yeah, it's been something I've been kind of kicking around for a little bit, but I think that the time is right for it. And thankfully, it's a dense project, but it's a short one. It's a very, very short project that... Again, I think it'll be kind of fun if we can drum up some spirit for it. So we'll see. But thank you again. I will catch you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.